Before we get started, just remember that everything is for entertainment purposes only. This is not meant to harm anybody or any entity. Thank you very much. Hi Crystal Balls, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please think about sticking around, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Guys, there's a lot of you that are watching, but you have not subscribed yet. There's about 50% of you. So if you could take a moment right now, go ahead. Oh wait, hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Yay. You get the yay for today. Yay. Good karma to you for subscribing to this channel. And Sunny says good karma to you as well. So today we are going to be doing an update video about Bob Saget.
Who's Bob Saget?
What? Why? Because it just popped in my head, so we're going to do it that way. I am going to have videos on Jim Bob Duggar coming up, as well as some other requested videos, such as Selena. So we will have those videos come up, but today we are going to focus on Bob Saget. So it has been a while since he died. I don't know approximately how long it has been, but it's still very weird, and people are still having a very difficult time contemplating this man's death. Now, if you look at it on the surface level, without anything at all, it feels like, dang, you know what? This guy had some sort of accident in his apartment, his hotel suite that he was staying in while he was doing his comedy tour. It could happen to anybody. But the more we look into it, the more we realize that all the stories are contradicting one another. And did Bob Saget actually hit his head and go to bed? Maybe, but maybe he didn't. But I keep hearing the word, before I even start, I keep hearing Dolores. Does anybody know who Dolores is when it comes to Bob Saget? I have no idea. And it may not be something that we will know right away, but Dolores is the name that he keeps telling me over and over and over again, like stomping his feet, telling me Dolores, Dolores. I don't know who Dolores is. But Dolores obviously is somebody very important to Bob Saget. So let's see what happened. What is going on right now? So he is with the Angels right now. So this tells me he has finally crossed over. In the beginning, I don't believe that he did. I feel like he had the warm homecoming. So that means that he crossed over. And it looks like he went to the good place. I mean, good place, bad place, they're all relative. It depends on the person. But it looks like he went to a good place. I feel like he is more upright right now. He knows the lessons that he should have learned while he was here on Earth. He's standing very, very tall. Even for a tall man, he's standing very, very tall. Like, I understand now, and I accept my fate. I accept my mortality. I accept all of that. I don't think he was Christian. Weirdly enough, I thought he was Jewish, but this is one of the cards that is a Christian card. Otherwise, it's a card of yapping to somebody that isn't listening. So maybe that's what's happening here. And I don't mean yapping, but sometimes this card can take on a yapping manner. But I think he's been trying to communicate with people, and it's been on deaf ears. Again, I hear Dolores when it comes to this female. There's somebody, this is an older female in his life, not a younger female, an older female in his life, that maybe their first name is Dolores, maybe their middle name is Dolores, maybe it's like an Aunt Dolores or something like that, but he keeps referring back to her, which I don't know why. Again, he feels very upright and steady about where he is now. So we're just gonna ask or see what we can see here. Oh, I don't have my cards all. Some of them are backwards. What else is going on? So let's see if Bob can tell us how he passed. So I don't read upside down cards. So if I get them, I just flip them upside down or right side up. Okay, so what I get here is heartache, heartbreak. Something really got to him. Before he died, his heart broke in three different pieces. And some of it was the fact that he was leaving his family. Some of it was the fact that he wouldn't get to see, his children and his grandchildren and things like that. So, very, very difficult situation for him that literally broke his heart in half. Um, I would include his family on that, so family members and things like that, the people that he loved. Um, Another one was health wise. Honestly, he was in fairly good health considering everything that he probably had been through. Supposedly he had COVID. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think he was feeling well, but him feeling well had nothing to do with his death. The big thing that had broke his heart is the person who was behind all of his death. So, I mean, that's the Three of Swords there. It's pretty, abundantly clear. It felt like somebody stabbed him in the chest. Now, this is typically one of the luckiest cards in the deck, but when it comes to this particular reason, this is actually a physical force. So somebody hit him on the head, but somebody hurt him pretty badly. Like, I feel a blow right here. And it doesn't mean that it was a knife or something sharp. Like, I feel a bam. Like, um, like when you were trying to resuscitate someone, how hard you have to hit somebody in the chest, like how hard you have to do compressions. That's what it feels like to me. Like I'm actually physically getting a sensation that I have not had before, but it really feels like right here, like on the sternum, bam. So I don't know if somebody tried to administer CPR to him, but it feels like that to me. I think he was starting to come to when that happened, and I think possibly that could have killed him. Um, he had a vision of reuniting with his family. I think for a moment he was hanging on before he crossed over, and he wanted to go home to his family, which makes sense, of course. So he wants to go home to the place that he loves the most. And I think for a moment he believed he was going to be able to do that. But when he realized that he couldn't, he freaked out. Like he went into almost what I would call obsessive work mode. But this is really when he shut down and went into almost a purgatory state where he was not over. He had not crossed over. He was hanging around. He was talking to anybody who would listen to him. There were a lot of people doing voices for him, like voicing for him, but it wasn't completely the true story. The true story is out there. It's bits and pieces of things that I have gotten and you've gotten and other psychics have gotten. Like this full story is there. It just isn't in one space, and it's not meant to be in one space. So I would recommend that you listen to places as well, like Sloan Bella and Psychic Raymond Munez, and is that his last name? Psychic Raymond. And other places like that who are readers and are very good readers, and they know kind of some of these informations and things like that, but they're also getting bits and pieces, so nobody has the full story here. It's being broken up. And this is also him trying to balance between life and death. He tried to jump back in, and it wouldn't surprise me if he tried to jump back in somebody's body. But it would have been somebody in that room with him. So there were 8 to 10 people in that room with him, even though they say that he was there alone and he died of a tragic accident. That's not the case at all. He did not die in a tragic accident. He died because of execution. It was his time to pay the piper. And I don't mean that like the rest of us, like you and me, who are living normal, typical lives. I'm talking about someone who needed to pay for the things that they did with their life, transactional, transactional, if that makes any sense to anybody. But it was a transactional situation for him. Um, and that's something that he did when he was younger before he was married to his very young wife. That's a whole other story there. Because there is something weird about his wife that I just can't quite pick up yet. I've had inklings about it. I have inklings that maybe she was groomed, but I still don't know if that's the whole story. I almost feel like she was a gift to him as a way to get him to shut up. Um, I keep getting like his cup runneth over. Like, okay, he was a very busy person in life, even though he wasn't a household name like he was when he was on Full House. He was older Ted on How I Met Your Mother. He had comedy shows. He was a busy, busy man. But I feel like he was sick of the way life was going, and he did not want to be in this life anymore, even though he loved comedy. Like, he absolutely loved comedy. um I feel like it was Sunny, it was his time to go, but I do feel like at the same time he paid the piper, he paid the price. Whew, this is making me tired, guys. um he was not alone. He was not alone. Communication. Bad dreams. He had a premonition of his own death. Whoa. Okay. Okay. All right. So, he was alone in purgatory for a long time, but he was not alone in his death. In fact, he could hear voices around him. I almost feel like he laid down and closed his eyes, and there was all of a sudden all these voices around him. Again, about 8 to 10 different voices. This is the Eight of Wands, but I feel like there were different voices of communication around him while he was half asleep. Like, he had his eyes closed. I think he was just chilling. Like, after he got done with his comedy show, I don't think he planned to stay there. I feel like, oh my God, my chest got hit. It hurt so bad. But he had a premonition of his death. He had a premonition of his death several weeks, like at least 2 weeks before his death. He knew he was going to die. He knew it was coming up. He didn't know exactly when. Of course, none of us know exactly when, but he knew it was going to break his heart. So even if Bob Saget had lived long enough to name the perpetrators of the people who had harmed him, because people harmed him, people killed him. This isn't something that was a oopsie doodle or an accident or anything like that. Somebody killed him. And he knew it. He knew it was going to happen. He also knew it was going to be a very ultimate betrayal by someone specifically who was in the room. And again, I hear this young man. He was trying to protect this young man, that he did not want this young man to get into this life. I feel like as a young comedian that Bob Saget was kind of mentoring, or he enjoyed his work or something like that. But it was his wish that this young comedian, this young man, never got into the same type of world that Bob Saget did when he was younger. Everything blew up. Everything. It was complete destruction. It broke him completely. It broke him so much that when he passed, he did not cross over. He hung out for a long time. He was incredibly upset. I can tell you, he still haunts people that he knows for sure did this to him. There is somebody very particular who is incredibly famous that he believes that was behind the hit. They both took the blue pill at the same time. The red pill, the blue pill, I don't know which one, but they both took it at the same time. And they both were introduced to this world of vastly horrific things that you must do in order to sell your soul to Hollywood. And they both participated in this. The difference is Bob Saget was changing. This other individual was not. And this other individual mourns very deeply, even though he is the one that completed the cycle that needed to be completed. So I think I said earlier, no matter what would happen, even if he would have been resurrected, resuscitated, he still would have died in that situation. That was his day to die. But I feel like it was a specific moment in time that was due to the Pied Piper that he had to pay. So for those of you wondering, yes, he has finally crossed over. He has passed over. He is on a different plane of existence now, but part of him is doing pretty well. Part of him is with his children. I don't know if he had grandchildren, but I keep hearing grandchildren. I keep hearing Dolores. I don't know who Dolores is. So we're going to go ahead and stop right now because this is making me both tired and itchy. So if you guys have any idea who Dolores is, great. If you watched till the end of the video, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great day or night wherever you are in this world. Remember that every single day is a gift. Use your time wisely. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.